Hi friends, today I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into my guinea pigs rescue story, a little bit more about them and how we became the guinea pig jungle. So I'm going to get MJ first and take us through the entire Schitt's Creek family. They are the ones that I got all together. It was 6 of them. So I'm going to go MJ, Alexis, David, Bebe, Moira, and then we'll end with Johnny. You want to play with this ball? Come get this ball. We've got some yummy little treats here. And some Timothy straws from the pig room. And a hay ball. Look at these, I got fresh. Oh! So like I said, first I'm going to start with MJ. MJ is short for Mama June. When I rescued her along with 5 other pigs at one time, which is all the other pigs that you will be meeting today. I actually brought her home, I want to say like a week before I brought the rest of the pigs home because she was incredibly pregnant and the pet store that they had them in, they didn't have any room. I mean, she and the other 5 pigs were in a Midwestern size cage, all 6 of them, and then she was about to give birth to she had 4 and they were like, we just don't have room, and it was a whole process. So I brought her home first because she was extremely pregnant. We didn't want her having the babies there in such a small space. So hi. So she ended up having her babies the very next day that I brought her home. So therefore Mama, she was my first mama. And June is like a term of endearment in Farsi. You know, you put it at the end of someone's name when you kind of want to like show them like an extra like gratitude of love and endearment. So she's Mama June, MJ for short. She is of the Schitt's Creek group, but she does not have a Schitt's Creek name because I just didn't come up with the idea until after I already had brought her home. So, without further ado, let's meet Mama June. So I probably won't keep her out for very long. She is a shy-ish kind of guinea pig, and a little skittish. Here we are. Here she is. So, she's incredibly tiny. She is a sickly pig. As you can see, she is losing hair. Now, where this hair right here looks like it's falling out, this is actually new growth coming in because she was completely bald all the way up to here. She's actually having surgery in January for an exploratory surgery because we are trying to determine what the growth is inside of her that could be causing these issues with her hair loss and weight loss. But nonetheless, we're still fighting strong. And this is Mama June. Mama June lives with Alexis, David, and Bebe. She used to be partnered up with my skinny pig, Hippie, but he passed away a few months ago. It's kind of like her contributing to her memory of Hippie. She's now turning into a half skinny pig with her hair loss. I joke about it, but it obviously really does stress me out. Let's see if I can get her on the table and see if she'll be interested in this without... She might just... Yeah, okay. She wants to live in the house, and that's totally fine. Would you like this little hay ball, like right there? I know this isn't like, we won't do this very long. So I do not know the exact ages of like the majority of my guinea pigs. That goes for MJ and the entire herd that I rescued her with. It's like a toss-up. She's anywhere between 3, 2.5 to 4 years old. So she's a senior pig. She has a lot of spunk. I do think that some of her spunk might be a side effect to the issues that she's having, because when I've been looking into just different things that could be going on with her, they do say kind of like a frisky behavior can come with like hyperthyroidism. That could be like a cause of her kind of like little rare behavior that she has. And it's not aggressive. It's just very confident and dominant. After I feed her, I give her 2 different sets of critical feeds a day, once in the morning and then once again in the evening. And after we have our critical feed time, she gets very like juiced up and kind of like putzes around to everyone and is like, and she'll like straddle pee on Bebe. She does this leg over and like pees on her, and Baby's just so tolerant. So yes, this is all part of why we love MJ. She's spunky. And I do really miss her mohawk. She used to have a mohawk when she had all of her hair. Josh might be able to find like an old footage video or something to show you, but it was super cute. And we hope to get back there. We really do. I'm trying to stay positive. She's digging right now because she really wants to F this whole situation because she hates it. But this is why I did you first, babe, just to get it over with, since I already torture you twice a day. I say torture. She actually loves critical feed time because she gets a pea flake like right before, and then I give her feeds, and then she gets one pea flake after. So she's very into it. She's just being very dramatic right now like she is. We blame the ovaries always, right, ladies? Blame the ovaries. So I'm very happy to have MJ. I'm very happy that I could have taken her out of the situation that she was in, living in such a small space, being a breeding pet store pig. I'm sure that the overbreeding is part of the issues that she's having. Again, this is like why people are like, oh, I want to breed my pigs. And I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer or like put my views on other people, but if you do value the health and life of your guinea pig, breeding does affect that. And breeding can affect the lifespan of your female pigs. It's very hard on their little bodies. Rescue is always the best way to go, if you ask me. All right, so next I have, who's next on my list? I think it's Alexis. I made a list so that I would stay in order. It is Alexis. We're going to go get Alexis. Look at your cute little face right here. Say hi. Sweet little baby. I love you so much. I love you so much. And you guys, you'll see this. This is all critical feed because this is where I feed her. Say hi. The big girl. Like picking her up versus picking up MJ is... Hi. Talk about a guinea pig who hates everything I do except when it comes to me feeding. She has bit my finger so hard, so many times, just in the name of food. Right, babe? And absolutely hates nail trims, any kind of medication, like she loves critical care feeds, but if I have to like medicate her, this guinea pig does that thing that kids do in their car seat where they like do the like starfish and just like literally physically boycott what you're doing. That's Alexis. The name's fitting. I'm gonna bring you out. We can do this because I'm actually gonna nail trim you too while we're here, while Daddy's here, baby. That's what Daddy's here for. Let's see if you'll stay right here on this table. What do you think about that ball? What do you think about that? And yeah. Look, we're just gonna face it towards the camera. Because I'm not going to make them have to be out here if they really, really hate it just to talk about them. Because, you know, I'm really not for forcing my pigs to do things for content that make them uncomfortable. But if I'm going to talk about them, isn't it nice to be able to see who we're talking about? I'm taking this opportunity while I talk about them. And while Josh is here, I have my health kit. And yeah, making him do nail trims and stuff with me in between takes of guinea pigs because it's not very often I get Josh sitting here with me with all the pigs. So I'm not going to be doing that on film though because I already done that before. So back to a little bit Alexis. When I rescued Alexis and MJ and all their herd, I call them the Schitt's Creek pigs. You'll hear me say that like multiple times. Out of the 5 females, 3 of them were pregnant when I rescued them. And it was MJ, Alexis, and Bebe. Hi, Mom. This herd in particular is like a really good example of how different guinea pig personalities are, and it doesn't really matter the background they have. Some people are like, oh, if you handle them more, they'll like be more like susceptible to wanting to be held and cuddly. And like, yes, that is true in a lot of ways, but just like people or cats or dogs, like they just have their own personalities. And Alexis is one of those guinea pigs who's like super social in the sense where she will come up to you when it's like it has to do with food of any type, but when it comes to like the act of touching, she wants nothing to do with it. Whereas like some of her cage mates are totally different. Like they love being touched, they love being held, and they all grew up the same situation in the same environment with the same like lack of stimulation, I should say, and they're totally different. You know, when people are like, get really upset when they see me with David or Figgy and like see how we're really cute together and they love me holding them and they're just like really chill. And they're like, how do I get my guinea pigs to be that way? That's just who they are. You know what I mean? Like I had Figgy as a baby, like baby, and I got David as an adult who lived in his whole life in a pet store, and they're just as equally as like social and cuddly. So it really is just the guinea pig. So just learn to love them for like who they are, and like don't be bummed that they're not super cuddly. Just like be happy that they're healthy, because that really is just the most important, and just throw all of your energy into like what can make their life better, regardless of like how much love and like cuddles they give you. You know what I'm saying? Say, I love her just as much as I love all my cuddly ones, because she just adds like a whole different vibe to the crew, right? So to tie up Alexis, like I said, she did come in as pregnant. She had, I want to say, 3 babies. It's hard to even remember. I think she had 3 babies. She has not had any issues so far from having been bred multiple times. So I'm very, very thankful and lucky for that. And just like all of them, I'm just glad she's here in retirement with me. Right? He's like, go get the next pig. And I'm like, yeah. We're doing spa day at the same time. So get up. Hey, you want to look around the table? Look what I have. He's already pooped. This is David Rose. I should do a proper introduction. This is David Rose. He is the bestest boy in the whole wide world. And he came with Alexis and that MJ, the whole crew. And he's super social. He'll probably talk through this entire segment that we do. He's always got a lot to say. Hey, bud. He says I don't need to speak on behalf of him. He can speak for himself. Anything else you would like them to know about you before I take over? Are you eating your own poop? Okay. Well, I don't know if they need to know that much about you, but okay. That's on you to tell. Okay, I'm going to take over now. So, David was the stud of the breeding group. He was the only male that came along with the 5 other females. He's a very good dad. He was very sweet to all the babies that were born. I wouldn't say he like necessarily cared about them, but he was never like agitated with them. He never was like aggressive with them. He never like, chased them off. He is just a really good boy. I should turn him around so you guys can see his face now, because I get to enjoy it all the time. So like I said before, the Schitt's Creek herd is a breeding herd that I rescued, and David was the stud, the only male that was in that herd. I assume at some point in time he had impregnated all of them. There is even a slight chance that he is Figgy's father. We will never know, but I'm assuming that he is. But again, when I rescued them, the only females that were pregnant were MJ, Alexis, and Bebe. He's very patient. He's really sweet to just about everyone. He's kind of like that guy where you like want to be annoyed with him because he's like super forward and like, hey. But then you're like, I'm like, I want to not like him because he's kind of annoying, but he's like super chill and nice at the same time. I say that because he was the king of like breaking into everyone else's cages. So he had broken into Henry's cage at some point, Figgy's cage at some point, Hippie, and I'm saying the males because usually it's male on male where you have like a lot of issues. They never fought. Like whenever I would come in and I'd be like, oh my God, David, how did you get in here? And I'd like check all the pigs over for bite marks, especially the males, and nothing. And I'm like, what? It's like some weird like high five thing he would do. He'd be like, hey man, you cool? Cool. I'm gonna come smell around your room. Got it? Cool. And he's eating his own poop, I think. Oh my God, you did. Ew, that one was so juicy. On camera? We already know you're a poopy guy. If you follow my Instagram, David loves to take naps with like 2 poops, just chilling right at the exit hole of his bum hole. They just chill there in 2s, quite always. Like when I went to go get him for this video, same thing. It's just his sleep mode. His sleep mode is my doo-doo node, yeah? Yeah. So I have been talking about health situations with all my pigs. So for David, he does have some swollen lymph nodes that we've been monitoring. And more as of late, he has this like toe issue that we haven't really been able to figure out. So I'm going to show you guys because I would also just love to hear if any of you guys have experienced this with your pigs or if you know anything about it, because my vet had never seen anything like it before. So we're just like kind of going off what we can research, but we're not really finding much, and then just like experience, which neither of us have experience in this issue. So I would just love to know if you guys know anything about this. Can we show them your toe? It's so good for learning. And maybe we can figure out what's wrong with you. So I don't know if you guys can see this inner toe and see how it's hardening and it's almost pushing his nail. It's like forming over his nail like a callus, and it's doing the same. It's almost like if he was to have a bunion. We've done a round of antibiotics. We've done a round of anti-inflammatories. We don't know what it is. So if you guys have any information on it, I'm all ears. I would love to know. That's what I love about this community is you can really learn so much from each other, because it is really hard with exotics, even if you do have a great vet. Like I have a great vet and I love her, but a lot of it's all experience, and she just hasn't had a pig that's had this before. So I would just love to hear from you guys. Say bye to your fans. Say bye. Say bye. Say, Daddy, come here and let's cut my nails. Is my pumpkin spice, the babies. Hey girl, she is the only one that in the pet store would let you reach in and pet her head. She's so sweet. Say, I was just so sweet, and even though nobody was taking me home, I still wanted to be petted. Let's turn you around so everyone can say hi, and then you can have the choice of going into the house. But look, there's some little treats. Do you want that? If you want to hide, baby, that's the spot. There. David's turds are in there. He's the only one who's pooped in there, and it's a lot. This is Bebe. If you are familiar with Schitt's Creek, Bebe comes from the way that Moira in the show says baby. And she says, "Where is Bebe's chamber?" It's really funny, and you should watch the show. Anyway, back to the guinea pig. Baby was 3 of the 5 females that came pregnant. She had a difficult time. She had 3 babies and only one of them made it. And it was during her pregnancy, or I guess I should say her birth, that is what ultimately ended up separating Moira and Johnny from the herd. And that's why Moira and Johnny are now by themselves, because Moira was getting very aggressive towards the babies, like bullying them away from her. If like the babies got near her, she would like chase after them. And then she started doing it to Bebe as well, because like when Bebe had her babies, I kind of kept them in a little area just by themselves. And then when I reintegrated them back in, Moira was just not accepting of it at all. Later, I found out Moira was having some issues of her own. So that very well could have been a part of it. But nonetheless, that's how they were separated. That's why now Moira and Johnny are by themselves. Bebe is an extremely passive pig. I would say in her herd that's 4 of them, it's Alexis, David, Bebe, MJ, that Bebe is the like most passive of all of them. She is the least dominant. The only thing that she like really stands her ground on is if she's in a hide, like if she's in something like this, and another pig wants to come in there and get her, or even me, like when I'm trying to clean and I'm like, come on little, like scooch her little butt, she will, you know how guinea pigs do that back leg kick thing? She will kick you and be like, no, I'm laying here and I'm not moving. And she will stand her ground. And it's so funny because I'm like, for a really passive pig, you quite literally do not give a shit that when people want you out. She's like, no, I'm staying. She'd have been really great for a protest. You know, she would have been a sit and a stays kind of girl. So Bebe, I would say, is more like a Buddha pig. She gets along with everyone. I've done other like introductions. Like I did their whole herd with Gigi and Frenchie, and Bebe wasn't an issue at all the entire time. Of course, there were some other problematic pigs, but it was not her. She's the kind of pig that, like, I don't get anxious about when it comes to thinking about having to, you know, make different pairs as pigs pass away, because I think she would do great with everyone. Whereas some of my other pigs, I'm like, I don't know who I could pair you with because you're quite difficult. She is not that pig. She is my easy pig. She is a polite pig. She loves pets. Like, as you can see, she's the only one that's been relaxed enough to eat this hay ball while we're sitting here doing this interview with her. She's just, honestly, really cool. And it makes me so sad to think that I think this about all of my pigs, but, like, you know, especially the ones that have, like, a lot of personality, like David and Bebe, like, that they just sat in a pet store for, like, 2 years, 3 years of their lives. And I'm just like, how? How? Like, you're just the coolest ever. I'm just, like, so lucky to have them. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really, really, really thankful that this is the situation I found myself in with guinea pigs, because I love them all. They're all so cool in just so many different ways. And she's just a really special pig to me. Aren't you, baby? However, she has the most difficult nails to trim. She's a great patient or client, if you will, but her nails are busted and they grow in very interesting directions. Like, one grows up, one grows completely facing in, and she's so patient. And Josh and I literally are, like, the whole time more anxious than she is, because we're just trying not to hurt her because her nails are very, very weird. Oh, wait, and lastly, Josh is, like, ready to move on. He wants to go skateboarding today. She has not had any health issues. Knock on something, because I know we've been talking about health things with all the rest of them, and as of yet, we haven't had any serious health issues with her, so very thankful for that. Let's move on to the next pig. Moira, you gonna get in here and hide? Hey girl, you gonna come say hi? Yeah. Is she playing with it? So guys, this is Moira Rose. She is a spicy Tecate. I'm, like, obsessed with her. She hates me, but I just don't even care because I love her so much. Moira is my hyster sister. We have both had hysterectomies. Like I mentioned with the whole breeding, she and Johnny were not pregnant when I rescued them, but they had had previous litters before. So during the whole MJ and Alexis and Bebe having their babies, it was all, like, spaced out. Moira was going through a lot of internal issues, and she actually had an infected uterus, and I think that was what was contributing to her, like, very low tolerance of the babies and just being bothered in general, because she was in pain. So that was when I had separated her and Johnny together, and I did Johnny with her, not because of the names go well together, but because Johnny is my biggest pig of that herd. And she was, like, sort of the alpha female, if you will. She wasn't necessarily, like, aggressive, but I just figured she would pair well with Moira, because I didn't want to put Moira by herself when I separated her. She needed to be with someone, so I put her with, like, the most assertive pig who wasn't going to get dominated around by her. Lo and behold, it worked. I mean, she and Johnny did have, like, an adjustment period, like, getting used to being with each other. Johnny wanted to be very close to her, and she was, like, really just wasn't about it. In the middle of the night, I would just wake up to these screeches, and it would literally be Moira, like, in a house hiding, and Johnny just sitting on the outside being like, can I lay near you? And then she would be like, no, just, like, screaming. So there was, like, a period of, like, 2 months where that was happening. No fights, no biting, no chattering, just quite literally, please don't lay near me. Diva mentality from Moira. But since then, she and Johnny really are the best of buds. They typically lounge near each other. They like being near each other. Moira lets Johnny groom her now. Moira grooms her back. Moira has really come out of her shell as far as her affection. Like, she has become a very affectionate pig with her other piggy, and it's really cute to see that, because she was kind of just like an anti-affectionate pig all the way around. So I do love seeing her loving being with Johnny. But again, it makes me really nervous when it comes to piggies passing and then having to find them a buddy, because she will be very difficult to find a new buddy if in the off chance that Johnny was to pass first. Is she just like lounging now? She's like quite literally just lounging behind the hay ball. Moira also has a history of bladder stones. I just recently got her scanned for one because she was showing signs of potentially having another issue because she's been drinking like an excessive amount of water. But we did a scan and they didn't find anything. So I do actually feed her some critical care along with MJ. I just give her like 2 syringes that are about 3 milligrams each. So she gets about 6 milligrams of critical care a day. She's a senior piggy, so it is really good for piggies. It's got extra vitamin C in it. Moira is actually my vet's favorite of my pigs. She just loves Moira. Again, it's like her attitude makes her endearing, because my vet does different kinds of scans with her on and off, because we just kind of stay up on doing scans with her since she does have a history of stones and issues. And so she's gotten to know Moira on that level as well, and having to get Moira to do things that Moira doesn't want to do. And she'll take Moira back for an x-ray and you'll just hear Moira screaming. And it's like you can hear her over the dogs in the back. Yep, that's Moira. And my vet loves her for it, just like I do. I am really excited to see that she likes the hay ball too during this process. I hate to stop it to do nails, but it is time to move on to the next pig, so it's time to do nails. She's just a special beaver. Look at her. Look at her. She's just so stoic. I feel like Johnny doesn't get talked about as much because she has like such a very even keel personality. She's like never wild. She's never super grumpy. She's not sassy. She's not overly affectionate. She's just herself every day, the same. What's up? I'm Johnny. I'm here. Oh, thank you for that. No, thank you for this. She's just great. I just love her. She's very confident. She's like the alpha female without having to be aggressive about it. She's just, yeah, I'm confident and I'm bigger than you. So you do with that what you will. But I probably wouldn't test me kind of attitude, right? But she doesn't charge. And I don't chatter. So I'm a very sweet girl. So again, Johnny was not pregnant when I got her. She was actually my first guinea pig that I gave. I didn't give it to her, but I had the vet do an ultrasound on. It was really cool. And she was not pregnant, which I was very happy about. She's been a great partner for Moira, like I mentioned earlier, because of her confidence and like how chill she is. And then, she broke through to Moira. Moira was like, I don't want to like you. I don't want to have that kind of personal relationship with you on that level. Like, no, thank you. And Johnny was like, I'll wait right here until you change your mind. And now they're like the best of buds because Johnny's just the best. Aren't you, girl? You're just so great. She looks like a bunny from right here to me because I can't see her ears and she just has very bunny vibes. Oh, you wanted the Timothy stick? As far as her health history, Johnny has not, again, knock on wood, she has not had any issues. All of my pigs had a URI at one time. I think this was like over a year ago now. I don't remember if she was the one that, a few of them didn't show any signs of anything, but everyone still got medicated for it. But I've been just super fortunate with her. She's had a really good health run. And, with guinea pigs, and as most of my guinea pig people know, it's so rare. It's like you either hear one thing or the other, I should say. Oh, my guinea pigs have had all these issues. And then you'll hear someone be like, I've never had to take my guinea pig to the vet ever. She would have been that guinea pig that's like, oh, I've never had to take her to the vet for anything ever. But again, please take your guinea pig to the vet. They at least need a checkup every 6 months to a year. Even if you don't think anything's wrong with them, at least still have them looked at. Just kind of like we get our annual physicals every year. they need an annual physical every year, just as you would take your dog or cat. With that being said, everyone, this is Johnny Rose. She is a female, not a male. I would like to just go ahead and restate that she is a female, and she is spelled Johnny with an I, not a Y, and no H. Thank you. So that was my entire Schitt's Creek crew, or my breeding herd rescue crew, pet store rescue, however you would like to call them. So I will do the rest of my pigs on the next video, and that will be Gigi and Frenchie and Figgy and Olive. Thank you for being here with us today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.